In this buff, I'll be talking a little bit about how to read the Pulse based on the Internet Society Pulse platform. This is a buff for two reasons. The first one, that's what the program committee recommended. So there is not much a chance or choice in that. And the second one is that I thought this would be a good opportunity to start a discussion on providing a high level and easy to digest layer for the data and measurements that we all access, we all see. Some of us collect, some of us run probes and measurement platforms and so on. But not many of us are exposed to the users of these data at a high level. What I'll be talking about is very quick brief about what Pulse is, the areas of focus, and then I'll focus on the Internet resilience, the Internet Resilience Index and what it's composed of, some use cases, and then we'll jump off to a discussion if that is good with you. So Pulse is a platform that was launched by the Internet Society 4 years ago. And the main purpose of it is to curate Internet measurements and data from reliable resources and make it easy for people to understand and gain deeper understanding about the Internet and its health. We rely on big array of trusted sources for the data, and we hope that, or the goal of this platform is for policymakers, researchers, journalists, basically anyone interested in understanding anything related to the health of the Internet to be able to rely on this platform and the data that it provides in their work. Now, a very quick overview of the focus areas. So I categorize them into two main areas. The first one is the Internet shutdowns. And the second one is more on the health of the Internet. Yeah, that slide shouldn't have been here, but yeah. So we document cases of artificial Internet limitations that result in limitation of access to the Internet or shutting down of the Internet. And in 2023, we recorded 124 shutdown events from 18 countries. The total duration of these interruptions to the access of the Internet is 2,370 days of disruptions, not hours, days. We also track the trends in the shutdowns and try to work with other organizations on campaigns to prevent them from happening again. What are shutdowns? So for everyone in this room, shutdown of the Internet is just disruption of access to the Internet. But what we do is we focus on the artificial disruption, artificial Internet limitation, which are disruption to access that are based on a decision that someone made somewhere. Because the other part, misconfiguration, hurricanes, unintentional cable cuts, or whatever, is considered anyway natural causes for disruptions of the Internet. It's part of how it works. So we focus on the artificial disruptions. Why do governments shut down access to the Internet? There are many reasons: civil unrest, conflicts, elections, and exams. Not many people understand or know that in some areas, some regions, some countries, they do shut down access to the internet because of exams. If you have any of your measurement platform, I invite you to monitor the status of the internet in Iraq tomorrow between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. local time and see what happens. Because tomorrow, a new series of exams will take place, and we understood that the government is preparing to shut down access to the internet then. So that's 2 hours, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. local time. You cannot say good morning to your beloved ones online. Or you cannot, order a taxi over WhatsApp or over any application. You cannot do any banking transactions. You cannot do anything online, basically. Now, to make the data more relevant to the decision makers, we looked at the economic impact of these shutdowns, of all these artificial internet limitations incidents. And we developed the net loss calculator, which anyone can use. All you need to do is select a country, start date, end date of the shutdown, whether is it total internet shutdown or specific service blocking, and it will give you an estimate of what would that shutdown cost per day. So again, this is because of the mission of the platform in providing high-level, easy-to-digest, relevant information. The second aspect of the data that are provided on the platform relates to the health of the internet. We track the health and resilience of the internet in multiple areas. So people in this room would, if we start talking about the resilience of the internet, would start talking about the hardware, the links, right, and the software that runs the internet. So it's basically routers and cables. But for us, we try to also, again, make it relevant, and we started looking at different aspects that also affect the resilience of the internet. So far, we have areas that track the implementation of enabling technologies for a secure internet. We have tools or data about the concentration of services provided on the internet. And we have the Internet Resilience Index. They are all compiled with some spices added from other measurements to produce the country reports. What we are working on right now is Internet Exchange Point dashboard, the 50/50 tracker, or the keep it local, keeping traffic local tracker, and ability to navigate through historical data, as well as a new and improved API. So the enabling technology is very simple. Anyone just goes there, they will be directly faced with some numbers that represent key technologies, in our opinion, that needs to be implemented and adopted for a healthier internet. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Then we move to the concentration and market concentration, country market shares within the jurisdiction, market history, and so on. And then from there, we expanded and we took into consideration 30 different sets of data that are available publicly to produce the Internet Resilience Index. And this is the key thing that I want to talk to you about today. The Internet Resilience Index combines data about different pillars, 4 pillars, in producing single numbers that give an indication about the health of the internet in a specific country or region or economy within these pillars. The first pillar is the infrastructure, which looks at the existence and availability of access. As simple as that. The second one is the performance, the ability of network to provide users with reliable access to the internet. Security, the ability of the network to resist intentional or unintentional disruptions through the adoption of best practices related to security. And the last one is the market readiness, which is the ability to provide the ability of the market to self-regulate and produce affordable prices or make internet available at an affordable prices through maintaining diverse and competitive market. Now, what data that goes into producing these numbers or data for these pillars? For the infrastructure, we look at the cable infrastructure. One of these is the 10-kilometer fiber reach or fiber reach within 10 kilometers as related to the population. We look at mobile connectivity, network coverage, and spectrum allocation. We looked at the enabling infrastructure, IXPs and data center, and so on. To produce all these contribute to the pillar that's related to measurements of infrastructure. This is what it does look like for a country like Poland. As you can see, it's high level. Yeah, for example, Poland scores 66% in relation to the infrastructure. This is very easy to compare or to use to compare between countries, and very easy for you to convince the people that you work with that we need to invest more in infrastructure in this country. And if you dig deeper into the different areas that reduced this pillar, you can easily see that, well, there is much need to focus on enabling infrastructure for Poland, not enough data centers, number of IXPs is, we're not sure if it's enough. And, well, these areas would definitely help the infrastructure index for Poland. The second pillar is the performance. We look at fixed networks, mobile networks, the latency, upload, download speeds, and jitter for each of these types of networks. Again, this is what it does look like for Poland. This is, again, how it fits within the mission of the platform, of the Pulse platform, that it's easy to digest, easy to understand, and reliable, as we hope, because it uses comparative data across the board. The third pillar is the security. We look at the secure web traffic. We look at the IPv6 adoption towards reducing the enabling technologies part. We look at DNSSEC adoption, DNSSEC validation to produce the area related to DNSSEC. And we look at manners score. Some of you may be familiar with that. Plus the upstream redundancy for the routing hygiene, DDoS protection, Global Cybersecurity Index, and secure internet servers according to the World Bank towards the security threat measurement. And this produces something like this for Poland. So you can easily see that, well, there's an issue. There's no issue with the DNSSEC adoption, But there is an issue with DNSSEC validation. There is an issue with IPv6 adoption. Fix these and, well, the score will fix itself very well. The last pillar is the market-led readiness. It looks at the market structure through the affordability, market concentration, AS hegemony, the traffic localization, peering efficiency, domain count, and e-government development, development index. Yes. So basically, it looks at what data is available for people to use locally, and in a way or another, looks at how much of these data is available locally. Again, for Poland, this is what the results look like. You will see, well, there are internet exchanges, but the peering efficiency is low. So this needs to be addressed. Some intervention needs to be done when it comes to traffic localization. At another level of work, we need to work with decision makers that to produce policies that provide better market structure. We have some issues with upstream provider diversity. As you can see, it's very easy to digest, to understand, and to use in as a high-level explainer for different people. So, well, we didn't stop here. We looked at these and thought, well, maybe we need to produce yet another level that combines all the data that we have, all the measurements that we have, the index that we produced, into something that's even easier to look at. And then people can drill down from there. And then, hence comes the country reports. For Poland, this is what it does look like. If you open the pulse, you will see that there are some extra explanations there. I removed those to make it more legible here. So you can see that the Internet Resiliency Score is just one box of this section of the country report. It doesn't end here. There's again this section that focuses on the globally connected infrastructure in relation to Poland, how many networks are there, IPv6 adoption, addresses, and so on, and then the security and trustworthiness of the internet. Plus, towards the end, if we had any blog posts or discussions that are related to this country, it will be displayed down there. So, how can people use that? Decision makers can just go in and see the data that many of us in the room collect and find an easy way to make use of it. They can easily compare situation between different countries, and they can easily see which areas needs more focus or more work in. Journalists can do something similar, perhaps also focus on the internet shutdowns and try to convince decision makers that it is not effective in most cases. People who are in charge of network provisioning and people who are in charge of implementing enabling technologies. This can provide you with a strong case to present when you want to work on implementing specific technologies, or you want to work towards provisioning of various network components or various connectivity technologies in different areas within your network and beyond. Now, there's an API available right now, and a new and improved API will be available to access very soon. If you are interested, you can send us at this email address expressing that you are interested in the API, and you can have access to all the measurements and underlying numbers under the index and the country reports. You can produce your own reports based on that. You can validate other measurements that you have, and you can find mistakes that we did not see.